Welcome to the Morning Madness podcast. This is your co-host, Carlos Plummer. I'm joined by my other co-hosts, TJ and
Hello.
Victory.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Morning Madness. He was just going to keep going.
I was going to keep going. I was just going to say that this is our first recording of the new year.
Yeah,
It feels good.
It is March, but the year does start.
Technically,
Jeez.
it's still February.
Yeah. We're recording this right at the end of February. When we actually, the last time we were here, we had just talked about what was when we last left. We were we were before Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man hadn't even come out.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was, jeez. Oh yeah, because it's been. Wow. We have been out of the studio for over, 2-3 months?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so a lot of movies have released, a lot of games have
A
released.
lot of stuff has been
We
occurring.
have all been busy individually. So in lieu of our pop culture news segment today, I think it's important we do some catching up. What's important? What's been on your guys' minds lately? What have you guys been up to in the big little time skip that we had between these podcast episodes?
All right, really quick rant. No Way Home, amazing. We're going to leave it at that.
Yeah, so we all saw
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Yeah, we
No
all-
Way Home. Obviously, phenomenal movie. Did you guys see any other movies in the meantime? We know Batman comes out on the 7th. We'll touch on that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That's one of the movies I've been really excited about this year. It was Batman.
Is
I
there one that I'm missing?
Doctor Strange will come out in May.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited. That one's
In
been-
May?
Yeah, May 6th.
That one's the
seems a little
current
early.
hype train.
Moon Knight.
It got pushed back, didn't it?
No.
To line up with. Oh no, it didn't.
No, May
Oh,
6th.
so it was always May. I'm thinking of Morbius then, because if Morbius was pushed
Yeah.
to April, I thought May was.
Isn't, did they push that back for a second time, though?
Mhm.
No, Morbius is the most. At first, it was No Time to Die, but now Morbius is the most delayed movie since COVID. It's been delayed 7 times.
Jesus.
Jared
Christ.
Leto has a very unlucky roll of the dice when it comes to his movies.
I think just his superhero movies.
Well,
Yeah.
he gets paid a lot for them, but he just gets all of his biggest roles get washed under the rug.
Yeah, I mean, just.
Oh yeah, he gets the shaft for sure.
Did you guys see? I know they talked about it in the new Batman movie. They were considering leaving in scenes with their quote unquote Joker for this universe or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's rumored that they had scenes with an unnamed actor that they would have had play their Joker in their universe. I think it's and I don't know if this is connected, but the guy who plays Druig in Eternals, he's the one who everybody is assuming is the unknown actor. He was the one credited or something, but his role was cut.
Yeah.
That footage was inevitably cut from the final bit, but they said they might add it in the deleted scenes.
I feel like we've had enough Joker, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like, a movie like this is going to be really good to bring characters like the Riddler, back into the spotlight because, ever since Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, that era of films, the Riddler wasn't necessarily iconic in the sense of more or less he was just kind of a clown. And I feel like it's going to be really cool to see a different take on the Riddler.
Especially with the Zodiac.
With the
killer
Zodiac
themes.
vibes,
new
with
episode.
Paul Dano playing him, and I think it's going to be really cool. And I just honestly think, I'm, to be completely honest, I am sick and tired of the Joker. I think he's a great character, but I just think for right now, we're good, because I just feel like every single adaptation has to do our version of Joker. It's like, well, I want to see different villains. I want to see Two-Face. I want to see
Speaking
Clayface.
some blasphemous words, although I do agree with you.
I want to see Scarecrow
Mad
again. I want
Hatter.
to see, Mad Hatter, Calendar Man.
No, legitimately, I agree.
Big
I want,
face,
I want to see all those people though, too.
Mothman. Where's
But-
Mothman?
Mothman. Where is he when you need
Mothman.
him?
Mothman, not
Does he
Mothman
actually
from
do
the
anything?
Bat-
Because I remember him in Lego Batman. That's the only thing I know Mothman from. I've never
The
read
only
a comic.
Mothman
that
I
he's
know
in.
is the one from Venture Bros. Yeah, that one.
He doesn't. I've never read a comic with Mothman in it, but he has one of the worst Lego minifigures ever. I think in the
Yeah.
first game.
I feel like there's a lot of people who have really bad with Lego figures.
No, but his is so like they chose the worst vomit related colors for his outfits, like a lime green and like a weird orange and then like a purple. It looks like Play-Doh after you've passed it through your system.
On the whole scheme of Legos, I just feel like there's going to be like at least a good portion of them who are just absolutely like garbage.
I think
like their appearance.
A lot of the superhero ones are really detailed now. They do some really good minifigure details now. That or it's fan made. I don't know.
I want to say those are fan made because I feel like for Legos and stuff, like we were just at Walmart the other day, and the amount of like the same stuff that they have and whatnot, I just don't think that they're taking that much into consideration.
And also the culture has changed because now
it's just about mass product now.
It's about mass product, and you can't even make things that are detailed accurate to the film anymore because of spoilers.
Right.
Like pretty much, like they have no No Way Home Lego sets, and the only sets they released for the No Way Home line were flashback sets for the previous movies. Yeah. Not in any of the other universes, but for the MCU. So it was stuff for Far From Home and Homecoming, and it was scenes that made up scenes that don't even happen. So I feel we're in this because I remember growing up. My favorite line when I was a kid was Indiana Jones, and it came around when Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, and they were releasing actual sets from that film.
Mm.
And I was so excited. And then also, like, from the previous movies, I remember they had stuff from Raiders of the Lost Ark. I remember my, Temple of the, what is it called? When they're going to the temple with the snake pit and everything.
Oh, Temple of the Crystal Skull?
No, in the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Temple of Doom.
Not the Temple of Doom. That's the second film.
Temple of D.
Temple of D's. Yeah. No, when they go into the snake pit and it's him and Marion, that was my favorite set of all time. And we just don't get that kind of stuff anymore.
Right. I think Marvel is the reason, right? Because everybody's so horny for spoilers for everything now. Like they want to hunt every leak possible now.
I would say the MCU.
Is it gamers? Is it gamers that are the problem? Because they're the people who look for leaks.
It's nerds, dude. To be quite honest,
it's really weird.
What's all the fucking MCU gatekeepers and all the fucking MCU nerds.
Fair. It's hard to be an MCU fan nowadays. Like if you haven't seen,
you almost have to verify
the entire backlog of it's like being a Nirvana fan in the late 2000s. You have to know an extensive set list of in behind the scenes knowledge and references.
But that Nirvana thing has got me laughing.
It's like an exclusive club.
Yeah. Well, no, and the thing is with spoilers, and we saw this with Spider-Man for sure, is there's a difference now between reports, leaks, alleged leaks, and then legitimate leaks. And I feel I don't know if you guys know who John Campea is, but I'll preface this by saying, in my personal opinion, John Campea is a hypocrite and a piece of shit. Because John Campea on Twitter was complaining about people, I forget for what film, complaining about people sharing. Oh, no, I think it was about a show. He was outing people for posting Mandalorian and WandaVision and all the Marvel show spoilers a week after the episode aired.
They did that with Boba Fett a lot. Boba Fett got
Boba
spoiled.
Fett spoilers were
I haven't seen it. I know the whole show.
Yeah. And people would post about this, and he was calling them out, saying, you can't do that. You have to give a buffer for spoilers and everything. And then here he is in November of 2021, posting on his Twitter and making an entire YouTube video that he refused to take down about No Way Home spoilers that he was given. Jeez. And it was actual images of the 3 Spider-Men and actual images of Charlie Cox, of Matt Murdock, actual from the film, that were then, when the film came out, people saw were real. Because first people were like, oh, maybe these are photoshopped or whatever. And no. And he was sharing them, and he was all excited. He's like, this is proof. And it's you're spoiling everything for everyone right now.
He realized the power of the algorithm, and he was I understand why people do it now.
And that's the thing. There's a difference between an article saying, oh, they're rumored to appear, versus and with a thing that says, oh, they were spotted on set. That gets people excited to be like, oh, maybe it'll happen, as opposed to, here's an image, a grainy 240p image from Sony, And it's like that to me is terrible. And so I feel like the people who actively seek those out are the people who just, they can't and won't be surprised.
Yeah, and it inevitably ruins your experience anyway. So I don't know why you do it. What Marvel should do, they should put aside some money to like a specific division who focus on hiring just random actors to come to set on their off days and just visit Marvel Studios. Like Brad Pitt was seen on set of Marvel. He's like just drinking a coffee. He's just there to hang out. Like
That's what The Rock did. And
really?
and people are like, "Hey, yo, is he in talks for the Fantastic Four?"
He's like,
he
no,
was like,
it's just Tuesday for him.
Wait, who
Yeah.
would he play in the Thing?
The Thing.
You know how
They would rename the Thing The Rock.
Yeah, me at 7 years old could not tell you the difference between The Rock and the Thing when you asked me about which. I thought they were the same person, but also if you saw them in separate areas, I identified them as the same person still.
That's funny. Yeah, but the spoiler culture right now is really bad.
No, yeah, No Way Home is the only movie I've seen with like a really successful spoiler ban, and even that was kind of rough. But like you, especially, I saw your page took like almost a month and a half before you started posting stuff about it. I had already forgotten the movie.
No,
by
I started posting about it like I think last week. I think I shared a suggestive meme a couple weeks ago, but I even said like on January 18th I was gonna start because I figured if a month went by. You hadn't seen it or hadn't seen any spoilers. At that point, in my opinion, that's kind of... And I know, like, some people I knew, like, for personal reasons hadn't gone. And so I waited for them just because I'm closer to them. But everyone else, I'm just like, if you haven't seen it by now, sorry. Always
I
put
mean,
a
it is
spoiler
a
warning.
month. Like,
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it in a month, either the theater's not open next to you, or like
Mm-hmm.
you have some seriously poor like priority management skills.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been going back to the movies more often since No Way Home. I've been trying to get back into the theaters. I just saw Uncharted.
Nice.
Not last weekend or the weekend before. Not last weekend, but
what
the
did
weekend
that
before.
get? What did the review get again?
It got its critical
exactly
review
how
was
I
terrible.
Yeah.
But the fan review, I haven't seen the exact scores for the fan reviews, but it's been iffy. And I think the big iffiness between it is if you're an Uncharted fan or if you're just like a movie fan. Because I watched it having like my knowledge of the Uncharted universe is the fourth game, and then like.
So you haven't
The
played it
supplemental grow up material that I've osmosis growing up because I didn't line up to play Uncharted when I was younger, that which was a mistake on my part. But the movie only like doesn't go that far into the games. It only goes up to like the second, right? And even that is still like really well done, and I haven't even played them, and I can still recognize every set piece as, oh, okay, so this is from this bit, this is the, and I'm leaning over in the theater like, this is this thing, and this guy is this thing. He doesn't have a mustache, but it's okay. But no, it was a phenomenal movie. I thought so. It was a great treasure movie on its own, and then just it's one of the best movies pacing wise I think I've seen in a long time. Like it doesn't dwell.
I'm
on
interested
things
in
for
how
too
they're
long.
gonna pace that, because if it goes in the first two games, and like I've played the first three Uncharted games, I think in like 56 hours, like just going straight, because I never had played them, and I only have like, I only had like that amount of time. I'm like, I'm gonna play through this bitch.
Free weekend.
Exactly. And so play through like the first game and the second game are just like dramatically like separate, like they're different and whatnot, and how they set it up. You're treasure hunting and stuff like that, but I'm curious on how like it like meshed together.
I'm fairly certain it's a meld between the two main set pieces from the first two games. But I do know like obviously the big pieces that are shown in the trailer. So I won't say anything that hasn't been shown in the trailer already. But you get the little pirate ship scene in the trailer,
Yeah.
right? That's from the second, right?
Yeah, a lot more flashier stuff happens in the second game than
So
the first.
that's what
the
I
first
thought.
game
That
more
is where it
concise.
hits its stride.
Yeah.
For sure. It establishes like by that point in the movie, I was like, okay, yeah, I could totally see them doing this again.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the first game was more concerned with like I feel like with like platforming and stuff in terms of like how Uncharted does its platforming. But yeah, I feel like it was more focused on that.
But did it save video game movies though? Like, it didn't break it? I know that, but like, do you think we'll see more now?
I don't
now
think
that,
it
now
really
that
did
this one's
anything, to
done?
be quite honest. I mean, it didn't do bad, but it
It's
wasn't
still up in the air till the numbers come in, I guess, right?
even with the numbers coming in. Like, this is, I don't know.
It's the perfect balance of an example of star power over source material, but also balancing the two, because this is the type of movie that's going to bring diehard Uncharted fans in to watch it reluctantly to see, okay, what did they do to my franchise? What did they do? And it's going to bring the Tom Holland fans in to say, oh, I'm going to watch this for Tom Holland.
Yeah, I didn't realize I might be a Tom Holland fan because like,
He's a really good actor.
He's talented. Yeah, I feel like he needs more roles, because out of all the Spider-Men, we have Tobey Maguire, who didn't have a really successful acting career after Spider-Man, but he became a producer.
mm-hmm.
But then Andrew Garfield is the only one of the three to truly separate himself from the role and truly mature out of it. And, now he's an Academy Award nominee, two-time Academy Award nominee. And for good reason, because he's an incredible actor. And I think he did a really good job of making it so that when you watch one of his movies, you don't go, oh, he's the Spider-Man guy.
Yeah, your girl. He's all about like he's especially with TikTok or Tick Tick Boom, right? Yeah, right. So
There is a movie called TikTok Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
my
it's-
friend
it's
accidentally
always a
reviewed
weird-
it instead of Tick Tick Boom, and so we were like, please never delete this. I want to see that you watch TikTok Boom.
No, but it's just even having like you don't even have to watch the movie like just from the trailers and the promotional material alone, you can just tell he's leagues different than you would expect for his like capability off rip from just a simple Marvel movie. Yeah. And I think this is perfect for Tom Holland to start getting separate roles and move himself farther away from just the Spider-Man kid role. And
Here's how we do it: we put Tom Holland in a horror movie, and he plays Norman Bates in the new Psycho.
That I could see that.
Let's give Homeboy the serial killer role.
does he have the ability to play someone deranged like that? Because like
I
we've
think he
only
does,
ever really
'cause
seen him play
What was that one Netflix movie that he was in?
The
Devil All the
Devil.
Time.
Yeah, he did really good in that one, and
Mhm.
like he wasn't even like playing anyone like crazy per se.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Evil Tom Holland sounds like a weird a casting choice.
I
When I
like
think
so
of
wait
Dark
till we get
Tom Holland,
bully
I think
Tom
we
Holland.
already have Timothy Chalamet, and he kind of looks like the dark version of Tom Holland. And like
I don't know. Timothy Chalamet is just too emo for me.
he's
it's
like
just-
they're the two interchangeable guys.
He's like that guy who's just optimistically negative all the time. He just looks like that. He just looks like that one friend just to bring down like the vibe. You know?
Don't Look Up seemed like a movie that he was happy about conceptually. They read the
Yeah.
description to him, and he was like, you know what? I love
Homie
this.
looks like he stays in his room and like complains about shit on Reddit.
So I'm going through my diary of films that I've watched.
Shut up.
Get out of here.
There's nothing
Carlos just rolls out this whole ass fucking book.
live on camera.
So I have my diary. I think so far the films I've seen from this year, I didn't spend too much time, but I spent a little bit of time at Sundance online this year. And I watched two films. One was called The Worst Person in the World, another one was called Piggy. Two complete opposite movies. One of them was a romantic comedy that takes kind of the comedy aspect and kind of turns it on its head, which is it was really well made. Piggy, however, was a deranged, demented, ultra-violent, I'm not going to say like slasher film because it's not, but it kind of also is. It's more like a revenge film. It's one of those that just gets in your head, and it's really just...
Think Kill Bill, but back at the barnyard, right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Kill
actually,
Bill.
pretty much. Pretty much, actually.
So Kill Bill, but with furries.
No. And then I also saw, I think the last movie I saw in the theater this year was Jackass, which I went with a bunch of the other kids in the film program. That was a lot of fun. I haven't laughed that hard in a theater in a long time. And I haven't been like a super fan of the Jackass movies before. Like I've seen them and I've kind of like seen like, yeah, they're funny. And there's some bits that stick with me, but I think I realized that like actually seeing it with a group of people and with a full crowd is just the best because everyone's like, for once, it felt like everyone was bonding over the same thing, and it was great. Just
Well,
No one's
like-
trying to fucking conceptualize the movie. It's like,
No,
Oh no, I saw it in this way.
No, you're just seeing
You're
a
just
bunch
watching
of
a YouTube
dicks.
video. You're just watching a bunch of buddies fuck around together
Yeah.
on a giant screen.
Yeah,
Homie took a fucking punch from Francis Ngannou, who has the hardest record punch in the entire world, and he took it to the junk.
Yep, cup test.
See, it's so weird because to me, Jackass has always been like this entity that I've avoided. Where it's like I know basically what it is.
Avoided?
Yeah, I know basically what it is. It's just like I don't know. Slapstick's never been my thing, so it's like I've seen bits and pieces. But when I knew the new movie was coming out, right? The only thing I remember, like I remember seeing the announcement, and really the only thing that popped into my head was like, dude, they're like 80. They're like 80 now. Steve-O's like got gray hair, and they're still doing this.
My favorite line was when, I forget his name, but he's wearing a giant silver, like, jumpsuit. They do a stunt. And he's like, I'm pushing 60 years old, and I just shit myself. He just walked away, and you see the shit stain on the back of the suit.
Dude, if Joe had not left, an Impractical Jokers plus Jackass collaboration would have...
No, dude, there's no way. I guarantee you, those four old farts from New Jersey or New York, wherever the fuck they're from, they're like different league.
No,
dog.
that would have been
But as a
interesting.
crossover where they play each
Send
other's games.
The
No.
Practical Jokers send the Jackass guys into
All
the
right,
wild.
now punch him in the dick.
Fucking, there's no way. I feel like that'd be dangerous for those guys.
I did also watch Scream, which I don't know if you guys saw it, but I feel
I
like
saw it like when it came out in the mid 2000s. Yeah.
How
I'm
old are
talking
you,
about
Vic?
Scream 5. I know,
Right there.
I know, but
How old are-
I'm just clarifying.
How old are you, Vic?
Huh? I am 20.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the podcast's
That makes
officially
sense.
all in the 20s. Yeah.
Let's go.
Which is something that was not to be said last episode. Jeez, birthdays come and went in the time that these podcasts have been out. But how was Scream as like a I know all the horror movies are getting reboots. I wouldn't be surprised to see a
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street coming out soon.
I
God,
would
no.
hate myself.
Yeah, that one's
Scream really,
I
I
heard it might have been predictable.
got a 9.
it was a little bit. I think
Like a
I-
solid 9, apparently.
Yeah, I would give it like a solid like 6.5, 7. Like the first, you have to trudge through exuberant amounts of story sludge to get to the good stuff, and a lot of the jokes just didn't really land. And I feel like I was explaining this to TJ before, but half of it tries to be extremely meta to the point where it gets annoying. To the point where they're like slamming you over the head with a hammer saying, hey, this is cool, this is meta, we're
Remember the
making references."
2000s?
Yeah.
Remember flip
Yeah.
phones?
Which is like, you know, I can
Remember
get why.
pages?
Like the whole point is, the whole franchise is meta, but there's a point when I'm like, okay, give me something new now. Like feed me some new story information as opposed to telling me all the funny references that are, you know, that you're making fun of, saying like, literally, quote, in Stab 5, they brought back all the legacy characters, and they look in the camera and wink, and then Mickey Mouse appears and shoves a wand up their ass and goes, yeah, we're having references to the old movies, guys, but we're making fun of them, so it's cool now. And so I feel like if they were peppered in, it would have been better. But the ending was good. I really liked the ending. I actually
Isn't
couldn't.
this technically the first Scream project without Wes Craven? Since he's
Yeah.
passed away?
Yeah, 4 was the last one.
Jeez.
4 was the last
4
film he
wasn't, like-
directed, yeah.
4 wasn't even all that.
4 is really good. 4, in my opinion, is the best, is one of the better sequels.
See, I disagree. I say Scream 3 is probably the best one.
I haven't seen 3 more than once, so.
Like, I just feel like the whole, like, I don't know, but like the whole meta thing,
Scroforum.
like the meta thing having to be like, you know, on the set of the movie and in that sequel, and how they played it just really was good. And the kills were really cool too.
Yeah. I did like the kills in the new one, to be honest.
Yeah, although let's move on from the movies, but there is that that one horror movie that's gonna be coming out with Timothy Chalamet. Not Timothy Chalamet, but Ethan Hawke.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, what is that?
Black Box, right? Black Telephone.
Is it Black Telephone?
I forget.
Black something.
Well, no, that's just it's just a normal telephone, Carlos. His race had nothing to do with it.
It's just a regular phone.
You walked into that one.
God, what? It's black something, but I think it looks really
Them
good.
in the studio tried to cut that out. I've got a skit idea. All right.
But yeah, but dude, this year for games is gonna be pretty hype.
Yeah, I know you said like solid 9 about Scream. It's like fucking high reviews. Elden Ring got what? All 10 out of 10s? Got 10 out of 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I think it got like 20 10 out of 10 reviews from like multiple people and shit. And it looks it's a From Software game.
How do you get so my confusion here, right? And we've talked about this before with in terms of like game reviewers and stuff and game journalists. How do you get all of these companies to agree when like IGN, who notoriously sucks at playing the video games, gave it it gave a game that is notoriously hard 10 points out of 10.
Yeah.
So they like
Probably because it made their little monkey brains think for a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, like
all across the board, every kind of gamer at every kind of company thought this was good. Like I haven't played a Souls game, but what you're telling me is
you've
could pick
never
this up.
played a Souls game.
I bought Dark Souls 2 when it came
bought
out.
Dark Souls
I played
2.
it for
You played
20
the
minutes.
bad one.
And then I played it for 20 minutes, realized, man, this game did not tell me where to go from the beginning. I just simply needed one directional bit of information.
That's where you get
and I said,
lost.
all right, cool, I'm returning this to GameStop for 10 cents.
No,
and
I mean, like,
stick it
I feel
going.
like a big portion of, maybe not a big portion of it, but like actually no, retract that. A big portion of From Software games, like just in general, like they're just really known for making really good quality games. Especially like, I mean, they probably like solely like have financed and created the like Souls like type games and stuff. Games that punish you, or games that are like literally too hard for their own
They
good.
birthed a whole genre. Well, Demon Souls was the first, right? And that was their first roll around with the thing. Obviously, can you grab me my camera, by the way, while I go on this little rant here?
Gotcha.
But I think it was a good thing I actually didn't end up playing the Dark Souls games until later, because I've seen how popular they've gotten, and obviously there's no better way to play it than if I wanted to make content out of it, just make it a drinking video, right? So if I just wait another year and I just do a shot per death, I think we're good. I think that's at least
You're
tens upon tens of hours of content, right?
No, that is nope. That
I think
is
you'll
about.
die before the video ends, like IRL.
Plenty of people have done Dark Souls drinking content before. That's usually the common
I'll
content.
say half a shot every time you die.
Okay, that's fine. If it's the amount that the problem, then yeah.
Because you're going to die a lot.
You're gonna.
If
Bold of you to
you're just
assume.
gonna die
Have you
in
seen
general.
me play games, Carlos? Clearly, you haven't seen me playing Jedi Fallen Order lately.
I haven't seen you
Okay,
play
there's
Dark
Jedi
Souls.
Fallen Order, and then there's from any other From Software
I've actually been
game.
getting my shit handed to me in Jedi Fallen Order. I'm not even past the first planet yet. So
Yeah.
If you think that game is bad, just wait till you
Yeah.
touch
I
Elden Ring.
I think Elden Ring, what I've been hearing is that it takes everything good from every From Software game and puts it into one and makes it open world. And I feel like that's what is the big draw is. And also,
how do you pull off a Souls game in an open world environment?
I
That's what
don't
confuses
know.
me.
Actually, I feel like you can do that really easily.
Right, but how do you
It's a lot more
avoid
simple.
do you have to do like dynamic level scaling? Because like you accidentally walk too far right, and then some level 100 guy starts like coming after you.
it's
That's
still
my
linear.
word.
Like, it's still
Yeah.
going to linearly,
How do you-
take you on a story, but...
Right. But it's like you could even in like the concept of open world for a game like that is just, I'm used to in the little bits of Dark Souls 2 that I have played. It's like you basically only had 2 routes to go in like the streets that you would go through, and like they both technically take you to the same place, or like a place where you could see the other location.
Yeah.
So it's like you weren't missing much. In an open world, I feel like you could you could miss a huge amount. Like this game, like if I'm not mistaken, they used to rely a lot on like not rely, but like you would commonly enter an area and then walk past a trigger wall, and it would trigger an enemy spawn or something, and they'd like break that wall down.
Still, that's still a thing.
It's right, but it's like with so much extra room you have to worry about. It's like, oh, what if they accidentally move around the rock and don't trigger the rock? It's like now they've never seen that guy, and it's like that's the thing that you have to like. With a game like that, where it's like that's the experience I'm used to being the Souls experience.
I feel like that it's like they've refined it in so much that we're like, it's almost like I don't know how to put it. They've with this Elden Ring, they just managed to like to have it open world and still like have it to like trigger certain like things and stuff like that. I feel like they really
I respect it. Good on them. Because it's like I don't know. It's weird. It's more rarely in a situation where we argue the positives about it or like the positives about a game. Now, I feel like it's always what are they doing wrong. Like we've been cracking down on just the last big releases for quite a while. What is like since Halo's been out? Like obviously they kind of dropped the ball like lately. I don't know if like because they haven't been in the news or for anything. Also, like Big Team Battle took forever to get fixed, and they've kind of just been stagnant.
I feel like it's a case by case basis, and it's different from those games because From Software games intentionally makes games to be harder.
Mm-hmm, right.
Again, we've already discussed how they made a whole entire genre out of it and whatnot. So like it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges almost, you know what I mean? Like you have all these AAA games that, you know, we expect every year or we, you know, every couple of years we want to hear something. But like when From Software games like releases, like people like lives stop.
Fair.
Like for a couple of days and shit. Like
it's like what everyone thought was going to happen with Cyberpunk. You know, everyone thought that was going to take over the world, and it didn't.
And the only other game that I feel like that's going to release that's going to have its effect on this, like how Elden Ring is right now, is when Breath of the Wild 2 is going to come out.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be
when
a
that one comes out,
phenomenon.
Whew, my ass is already
actually, you're sleeping on Wii Sport. You're sleeping on Nintendo Switch Sports, TJ.
Oh my God.
I feel like
I'm excited for.
Dude, I shit myself when they announced that.
I didn't think they were going to do it.
I
didn't think they were going to do it.
By
golly, they did.
I woke up. I got up that morning knowing there was a Nintendo Direct. I sat at my desk, said, "I'm not going to record. They're not going to announce anything worth it." And my girlfriend was there, and she was like, "Why don't you just record just in case?" And I was like, "Fuck it, fine." So I started recording like halfway through the Kirby showcase. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know, like this is cool and all." It's like nothing that's gonna make me go fucking insane, you know. And then I think is as soon as I heard like the sound of the tennis racket or whatever, it was over. Like it was the Nintendo.
Serena Williams 2021 tennis.
But Nintendo lately has just been going like ape shit with their ad. Like anytime they go to announce an event, everybody goes, okay, they're gonna announce this, and we've developed this habit of going, Nintendo isn't gonna do what you think they're gonna do. And now they're just like, it looks almost as if they're reading Twitter for like a playbook of what they announce at each event. Because
they're going to do this, we're not going to do it.
Literally yesterday, right? It's Monday. Well, we now record podcasts on Mondays. But yesterday, Sunday, they did a Pokemon Presents for Nintendo. Yeah. Pokemon Presents at 8 in the morning. 8 in the morning here. I was at work. And so I was sitting in my little janitor's closet at work, waiting for the announcement to come up. And I was like, well, it's a 14-minute Pokemon Presents, right? And all of Twitter was like, it's 14 minutes. Don't get your hopes up. There's nothing that could possibly be announced in 14 minutes that would be a big deal, right? They were like, they would do a whole big 30-minute thing to talk about a new game or Generation 9, if that's a thing, right? And everybody's like, but Gen 9 would be so nice right now. And then I watched the whole trailer, right? And I'm like, okay, Pokemon Go. I'm like, see, look, it's all the simple shit. It's like they're just going to update on Pokemon Home and Pokemon Sleep. And then they get to the end, and the trailer starts. And it's like a live action for the first 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, wait, are we getting a new Detective Pikachu movie? Because the first one slapped. It was an absolute banger, right? And then Pokemon does the exact thing that everybody said they would, but also didn't expect them to, and announced Generation 9, literally, a month after Pokemon Legends came out? Now, obviously, they have multiple companies.
I don't know how about those starters, how they look, though.
Scarlet and Violet, this is the big this is the big Nintendo Switch Pokemon game. And I said that the last two, obviously, but this is the one they've been working on. Like, this is it seems like Pokemon Legend was more of an engine test for this game.
Yeah.
Like, to make everybody
in the right direction
stress
for
test it.
It stepped in the right direction for the Pokemon series.
The starters do, like, I've noticed
They've
this
got
one more than
They got
ever.
a fire crocodile on their team, Carlos.
Fuecoco, the fire crocodile, yeah. But, like, I've noticed now with the starters, they always look like Fakemon until you, like, get really used to them. Because, like,
Some
the duck.
fanfic shit.
Huh? Well, like, fake Pokemon.
Yeah, it's
Like,
yeah.
But, like, Quaxley, the duck,
Okay, the
does
duck
not look like a Pokemon.
It just looks like a duck with a hat.
It's a French duck from a Pokemon, or it's a French
wait,
duck
it's
from
French?
A yeah. Well, huh? No.
Oh,
But
okay.
Quaxley sounds French.
I
I was
was
thinking like he
French?
looks like he's a French duck who paints. Like
Oh.
that's his thing. This generation takes place in Spain, or like the Spain Portugal area. But Sprigatito is the grass type, which is my personal favorite.
The cat.
He is so like it's just as long as they don't make him a bipedal or like fat tits cat, like they do with all the other.
Hold
Pokemon.
Go back. Where the
Can
fuck?
you run that back for me?
Big
Have you not
tits
noticed
cats.
every cat starter or dog starter or like any of the cute animal starters always end up bipedal or like Incineroar, ripped as fuck, monstrous like cat by the third evolution, or Delphox, who's like the
I don't know Delphox.
the wizard fire type from Gen 7. Where she's like, it was the first fairy starter. Case in point, the big mistake they make with all of those Pokemon is they anthropomorphize them. I'm hoping this Pokemon
No, I know
stays
what
on
you're
4
talking
legs.
about.
I want if this cat just gets to like a saber-toothed tiger or something,
That'd be
it would
kinda
look
cool.
so sick.
Yeah.
And
I
then
get it.
Quaxley,
Like, don't put them
listen,
on 2 legs.
I discriminate against one Pokemon and one starter Pokemon every generation, and I think Quaxley is just gonna get
Dude,
it.
watch him just run everyone's shit. That little crocodile looks like, I don't know,
Quackadile.
quackadile.
Yeah, Fuecoco is the fire crocodile one. I feel like he's the least interesting to me out of the two, out of the 3.
Dude, a
But he's
giant
like-
fire crocodile? That's fucking terrifying.
Right, but we have a couple crocodiles in Pokemon already.
Yeah, but those ones are lame.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I
With
won't
the one with the
even
fucking
argue.
sunglasses and the fucking mojito.
Crocodile and
Crocodile, and he's a criminal? This fucking bastard.
But no, it's just it's unbelievable that we went from literally when this podcast began. I think we had like one real Pokemon game on the Switch, and now we have almost 5.
I was gonna say like that was like debatable for like that one that was out at the time. But
Let's
now,
go,
like,
yeah. But it's like Sword and Shield. But it's like it's just unbelievable to see the insane leaps and bounds gaming has taken in the last year compared to like when the dry spell that we had been in for so long. And now things are starting to feel like we're getting fed.
I was gonna say
some
like Dying
scraps
Light
again.
2 came out and was looking good for the amount of
It's
arrows you gotta.
from what I've noticed, or from what I've heard, it just takes the first game and improves on the formula, right? Like it doesn't do anything special other than that, but it's still a good game.
I mean, like it's definitely a game that you can enjoy by yourself from like a very solo experience, or like to just join friends into. And there's plenty to do in that game as well. And it's kind of like zombie
Zombie Far
Skyrim.
Cry?
Zombie Skyrim.
You think so?
I think so. Zombie. Yeah, there's guns and shit, but like you get to drop kick motherfuckers.
Fair.
True.
But yeah,
I've been playing Skyrim VR a lot lately.
I
Can't
didn't
drop
know-
kick people, but
I didn't know there was Skyrim VR though.
It's
Yeah.
there's
Skyrim and Fallout
everything.
both have VR. They both
might as well be
suck unless you
Skyrim
mod
mobile
them to
now.
death. But
Bro, did you guys hear that I think onto the Switch, I think Bethesda or someone's trying to get like the Game Pass on like the Switch.
Xbox Game Pass on the Switch.
Yeah, but I think it was maybe Microsoft, but they want to like actually like give like
They want a Steam Deck competitor right out the box. The Steam Deck came out. How do we feel about that? $400.
I haven't really seen. Heard about. I've only heard about it, but like haven't like the details and stuff are like kind of iffy.
The big thing that actually sold a lot of units right off the bat on its release. Once people got it, they realized it comes preloaded with like its own store, like its own version of an app store that give you access to go through like all of the places where you can browse games like Steam, all the game stores. But it also comes preloaded with access to all the emulators you could want. And that was the biggest deal. Game Boy, DS, PlayStation,
That
N64.
seems highly illegal.
It's not the ROMs are the illegal part. You have to source the ROMs yourself. That's the big umbrella for emulation. That's
Sega
always been.
it's just like
So they're just enabling people to do illegal stuff.
Well, it's emulators have always been out there. It's just they're just little. It's the Steam Deck's just a microcomputer. It's not like they're sanctioning the emulator. It's just showing. Huh?
I don't have any emulators.
I don't have.
Everybody
any.
has.
I don't have any emulators.
Legally, I do not have any.
Everybody who has GBA for iOS on their phones and shit like that.
No, I still have Flappy Bird on my phone, bro.
Jeez.
I feel like that's like the only acceptable game to have from like the past like 10 years and shit on your phone.
Never uninstalled that shit on my old iPhone.
I have a surprising amount of games on my phone still. Even though I haven't opened a single one of them in like months. Mobile gaming is like, it was such a fad that came and went in the span of 10 years that it existed.
Yeah, and because like no one like, we all knew big companies weren't gonna like invest time and efforts.
Well,
into
there are
fucking,
companies that exclusively sponsor mobile game streamers, right? And they're like our mobile game streamers who make like millions off just those, right?
And even then, like think about it, like PUBG Mobile. There's people who stream on Twitch who stream from their fucking phone playing this game.
Have you seen their setups too? It's like they've got the little controllers on the outside with like a fan blowing on the back of the phone so it doesn't overheat.
PUBG Mobile is just a better version of PUBG.
It's PUBG the way it was meant to be played.
Yeah, PUBG like on Xbox and PC is garbage. Like literally nenever play that.
It's like
game.
a Gmod game mode on the consoles.
Yeah, but for some reason the mobile version is incredible. And I'm like,
I hate the quality, like, because for some odd reasons on my YouTube recommended shorts, I get PUBG highlights, and I don't ever watch any of.
Well, do you like watch YouTube shorts for like often,
yeah.
or like do you accidentally?
I get League of Legends.
What happens is you go, why the fuck am I recommended this video? And then you click it, watch the whole thing, and then go, it was all right. And then a day later, you go, why the fuck am I being recommended this? And you just rinse and repeat.
Because if you look at my history, it's just all like Muay Thai like stuff, UFC bits and shit of like UFC fighters like talking shit. Is there any events that you guys are excited for like this year and shit?
Jeez.
Yeah, going home.
Yeah, the summer's gonna be here in no time. That's like what? Like we're halfway through our semester here, so and I think I'll still be here in the summer. So
I feel like there's not anything like super big or event wise that's like.
I think
like,
the habit has been nobody wants to announce anything because they don't know if it's gonna get.
Yeah, because technically we're
stopped.
we're technically still in that bubble and shit and all the other stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah, well, like if you like we go from one pan of boiling oil to the next. Like it feels like so. It's like there was always something going on to get in the way.
Yeah, but yeah, I think the only thing I'm looking forward to this year is basically all the UFC fights that will happen this year.
Fair. I've been here. Like my roommates have been watching a lot of the late ones, so a lot of the ones that you've been posting. I've actually seen while going to get like a snack for the day or something.
What's called my boy Ty Tweebos is in there destroying shit.
I think there was a really good quick knockout I saw one of the other days. Yeah,
it was
I watched that.
Was it the elbow to the chin?
Yeah, I saw the fight happen. I said. God damn, I know TJ's watching this fight.
Dude, bro, I was from this minute that the fight started on that Saturday, I was like on my feet from the entire round. Like even that first round when he was getting like his ass, like when he was on the ground, was pounding him, I was yelling, "Get up! Get up! Get up!" And yeah, in the second round, like I don't know, at the end of the first round where he just like Derek started cornering him and just started punching. Ty just was like, "Fuck it," and just started swinging back. Then second round came and 1 punch, 2 punch, 3, 4, and then elbow, and then homeboy goes back to sleep in his hometown.
Jeez.
Yeah, like that was. If you guys don't know, that guy that he fought was his second time main eventing in his hometown, and that was the second time that he lost in his hometown.
Oh, it's over. There's not much else you can do.
He's the only reason why the UFC has come to Houston, is because they know that he's a big name and it'll come out and it'll be
Ouch.
He's been fighting in Houston for like the last 3 months. Because his last fight was not that long ago.
He needs to get out of Houston, get a better trainer.
I think he's like 37, but he has the record for the most UFC knockouts in history. I think he has like 30.
Jeez, he should do the very common and the very big ballsy UFC thing for people who are in their late 30s, and that's get a real job. but
maybe get some bitches.
maybe get some bitches.
Bro, dude, this is the size of Shaq, bro. Shaq could like get touched by. This is the only dude in the world who can probably say that he can touch Shaq one time and then he's out.
No, if Shaquille O'Neal's working on getting shredded, right? But he wants to have like a 6-pack by his next like milestone birthday. Okay. If Shaq gets physically shredded, he will legally have to be registered as a weapon of mass destruction.
I don't know, man. With his age,
the only reason he has not murdered millions of people is because he didn't have the work ethic.
The reason why Shaquille,
if Shaq suddenly started shooting free throws, he would have the power to wipe us off the planet.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That man
A lot of Space Jam 3. They have to stop Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal is the new Thanos.
It's just him CGI'd slightly larger.
He just goes and travels between different divisions in the world and collects their championship rings.
Yeah.
Goes to China to get the final one.
Not like...
Because it has to be China last.
I want like a... What's the...
China.
Like the Predator opening bit where it's like all the big muscly dudes. I want like a similar thing where it's just that kind... But that's like the premise, but it's just Shaq, The Rock, John Cena, just all the big guys who just are like abnormally large, Terry Crews, just everybody. And I want to see what they'd be like in just a movie together where they play completely nerdy normal dudes or some shit.
I like that, but let's get Terry. I don't want Terry like regular Terry Crews. I want Old Spice Terry Crews inside. Like that's like he's just yelling what he's doing, and she's like, "I'm doing my taxes." Ah!
I feel like that is Terry Crews. Is that not default Terry Crews?
You remember when Terry
I'm taking my medication.
He was almost Doomfist.
I know. Terry Crews was like literally on the way to be Doomfist.
Oh man, that would have been really cool.
Could you have imagined?
Actually, no. On second thought, I would have fucking.
Talk about worst career decisions ever. He turned it down. I mean, they had another guy in mind, but like they did talk to him about it, and he was like, as much as I would love, like, even though they had the other guy in mind, they were like, well, would you like to like make a attempt for the role? And he's like, nah, I'm good. And then he was he took the hype for everybody. He was like, I know you wanted to see me in Overwatch, I get it, so that's why I'm in this game, baby. And it was like some marine like side-scrolling shooter.
I think the issue with the Terry Crews thing was, in my opinion, I don't think his voice fits Doomfist. I think Doomfist was really meant to be reminiscent of, like, you know, almost like old tribal warlords in Africa, and I feel like that's what they did a good job.
It's the eccentric vibe.
Who was that?
As opposed to Terry Crews.
Who was that guy that challenged freaking Chadwick Boseman's throne in the first Black Panther movie?
Baku, the guy who plays M'Baku.
Yeah, someone
Winston
like
Duke.
him, and so like you know, I can't see Terry Crews like
Yeah.
You know,
I think Terry Crews would be good in Overwatch.
And media strike! Ah!
Yeah, basically.
Well, that was like the big thing when everybody was petitioning for it. There was just tons of videos out where they would throw his voice lines over like the attacks and the public test or whatever. And he's got plenty of voice lines from Old Spice specifically that worked with it just fine. Like he has like 7 variations of just power alone.
Power.
No, but
when he charges up his fist, that's what he yells out. He's like, pow!
During those fights, I know my roommates got that Papa John or the Little Caesars Batman
Batman calzone.
No.
That was one of the most disgusting things I have ever laid my eyes on in person.
Did you eat it?
No, I didn't touch it. I felt it looked like it would have given me heart disease from so much as like being near
I'm gonna
it.
send you a photo that I want you to put in this video.
Oh no.
Put it right here. Exactly right here on my face.
This is the Batman calzone that I got. And I have a lot of issues.
I'll tell you guys this right now about the calzone. I have not seen a picture on the internet of the calzone that looks good.
It doesn't look good at all.
Nope.
Even in person, it looks it's just so gross.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every single time I've ever seen that. It's the grease stains. The grease stains, I'm like,
it's leaking.
Yes, exactly.
It's so
I'm not gonna lie. I
good.
think someone fucked my calzone.
It'd be a disservice not to.
I feel like, yeah.
You didn't tip your pizza delivery boy on the app. That's what happened.
He's like, I'm gonna
Send your
fuck this
cute
guy's
delivery
pizza.
boy.
No, we were on set this weekend, and I got pizza for everyone.
Did you
And
get the calzone again?
no, I got Domino's for everyone, but I can't eat Domino's, so I had to get the nearest pizza that was open, which was Little Caesars. I did not get myself a calzone. FYI, I just got myself a regular pizza. But when I was typing in,
like, one slice from Little Caesars?
no, I got like a smaller size.
Carlos held
always
them up and asked for a slice only.
I just
and then
feel
paid in Chuck E. Cheese tokens and left.
yeah, it's Charles Entertainment.
He said
Charles
keep the cheddar, boss, and
third.
left.
And so I'm trying to type in Little Caesars, so I instead typed Little Pizza accidentally. And my friend was right next to me. He's like, "What's Little Pizza? Are you trying to get a little pizza?" I'm like, "I'm trying to go to Little Caesars." And he's like, "Why?" I'm like, I don't know.
Your life's just been a bunch of bad decisions that
And
led to
then
this point.
the boxes have like the Batman on it, and so I bring it in. They're like, "Did you get the Batman calzone?" I'm like, "No, it's a pizza." Everyone one by one asking me if it's the calzone. Yeah, that thing was in my opinion, one of the weirdest movie tie-in products of all time.
I
But
get it, like Gotham is supposed to be New York, and what's more New York than pizza? But it's like
I don't get it. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah, but
weird.
like New York pizza is like good.
I would have preferred
Eddie
a
Warshau's
Batman
about
Happy
it.
Meal or like a Batman McDonald's.
Yeah,
collab.
like that just makes more
the special batty sauce,
Like
the
that
batty
just
fatty sauce, or
makes
some
more
shit.
sense.
But also like for like what the movie is and stuff, like a super dark tone, like, you know, Zodiac type vibe.
Do you
theme.
think there'll be like a really egregious Little Caesars ad in the middle of the movie somewhere?
Dude,
it'll be like
fucking
Mr.
hilarious.
Wayne, you can't leave to fight crime in Gotham yet. You haven't touched your pizza. I shaped it like a bat just for you, and it's like the
Shut up, Alfred! Leave me
He
alone.
slaps it out of his hand. Get the fuck out of the way, Alfred! I don't want your
Justice.
pizza. You should get me a calzone like a real man, so you can hold it in both hands. Wink.
Looks at the camera. Don't fuck my calzone, Alfred. It's the one F word in the movie to keep it PG-13.
Where's
Is
the
this
where's
PG-13? I thought
where's
it
the
was
one?
I think a movie that has Lego sets tied to it is going to be rated R. Any movie that's been rated R does not have Lego sets.
We should fix that.
I think they should just make rated R Lego sets.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
I think Brazzers should get into making Lego sets. Now, hear me out. I think, now, what's a more lucrative market that, now think about it. Legos, you know, what's their biggest export? Or not export, biggest market? Children, right? And what do children love? and
The line.
just thinking about
We're in another border now.
I'm just thinking about the pieces that you would put on your minifigure. For your Johnny Sins minifigure. You could just like, you know how like sometimes there'll be like a skirt piece that like you put in between the
Yeah.
leg and the torso.
It's just a
That
stick.
attachment piece would
Just a
just be a
little-
giant fucking schlong.
like-
me laying out, me separating my Lego minifigure rack sizes by.
You guys
Detachable booba.
you guys ever seen the Lego City like trees and stuff? For Johnny Sin's dick, it's just that.
Yeah.
It's a Lego tree.
Yeah.
Someone's been harassing the brothel in Lego City. Oh. We have fun here.
Yeah, funny.
It's the only way Lego is. It's the way Lego tries to grasp onto their. Oh my God! Speaking of
There's
like
got-
toys trying to grasp onto what's left, Nerf, right? So obviously Nerf, who have been like lightly struggling lately, you know, pandemic, people can't really play Nerf with each other in fear of, I don't know, tagging each other and dying or whatever, you know, Black Plague, all that. But Nerf decided to turn their attention to the one market that would make you want to buy their guns again. And they're making a VR shooting, like tactical shooter, where all of the guns are the Nerf guns that you can buy in real life. So what better way to get people to buy their guns in real life than to do the, oh my God, that's the gun from Fortnite. It's literally just that, but with Nerf's own game. It's like, oh my god, that's my favorite Nerf gun in the game. I can totally. And then now all the old people who knew the guns before the game, can get upset about that too.
Oh my god!
But they have some really good like Nerf models scanned into this game. It looks pretty cool. The only exception
Yeah.
is it's just not a good shooter.
There's the gun from Fortnite. The Russian soldier reloads his AK-47.
Hey yo!
Hey, bro, these are real. Like, everybody's like, oh yeah, that's good for Fortnite. You're like, you mean that actual weapon that's used to kill people? Yeah, that shit's real, dog.
Dude, I love the detachment that internet children have nowadays. Sometimes
This shit is weird. I always look at like the news and I'm like, this stuff is happening, and
I don't know if
in our
it's-
last big conflict, at least for America, media wasn't the way it was right now.
Mm-hmm.
You just think about how social media is the way it is, and how like literally the only way our generation can cope with what's going on is by memeing the shit out of it. Which, in my opinion,
we're
to
not
some
in a
extent,
position to do so. But it's
no.
like,
But I feel like it's a reflection of how we as a collective kind of deal with things nowadays, because it really started back
don't
in
take anything
2016,
serious.
back with the presidential election. Because in all reality, if you look at that election, that was one of the worst times in recent American history, because it was one of the biggest times in which our country was so wholly divided, but the only thing we could collectively unify on was laughing at both our candidates, because of the memes, because of the vines, and the YouTube videos, and the lip dubs, and the everything that was made about them. And then going forward, everything was the same. And so now we're in this spot where it's like, there's two countries that are going to war, and the only way that we, can deal with it here in America is with satire. And it's literally like back in World War II with the political cartoons. Nothing has ever changed. It's just today's version of it.
Yeah.
And then even Russia's joining in on it. Like, Russian TikTok, literally streaming soldiers deploying, and Ukraine on their Twitter posting memes about it. Like, this is how.
And this is some real shit going on. I don't know
Yeah.
if you heard me and Carlos talking earlier, but like there's a bunch of Ukrainian like boxing fighters and stuff like that, like world championship guys who are leaving and opting out of like their contracts to go fight on the front lines.
that doesn't surprise me at all. It's like that's exactly what you would have to do in that kind of situation. It's like we're just privileged enough not to be in that situation. And obviously, we don't like to talk about those kind of things much on podcasts like this because, one, we're not educated, we're not experts, and if we did want to talk about it, we want to bring someone who has maybe a more historical background or like information on it. Who can give us that kind of insight. But at the end of the day, we do know like it's going to be something that is going on in day to day, and it is affecting like the way things are around us. It is like we're just lucky to be in the situation where we can experience it as a third party.
Yeah.
Like we're very lucky to not be as involved as the people who are involved. I will say to close this off, because we are hitting our 20-minute warning. We are at the point where what is it? This is the first time, one of the first big conflicts where there's enough media coverage of everything to build these legends fast. Whereas back in the day, you know how we get Saving Private Ryan, all those big movies.
Yeah.
There's this is like the only tag that I think that'll get picked up on this video, but is the Ghost of Kiev, the air, like the dog fighting pilot who has like the highest kill count ever for a single fighter pilot, is now becoming a living legend. If he, upon survival of this mission, he will be one of the first living war legends in a long, if not ever.
Well, there was not only to add on to that though too, now that social media is a thing, we're I was talking with Carlos the other day about this, we're looking through this through a different lens. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but even a bunch of social media platforms have come out and said that seeing these big news companies and stuff have been falsely putting out footage and stuff from video games like Arma 3 and stuff, and purposely putting it in, people are starting to catch it now. So I feel from a standpoint from what people are seeing and what they're recording putting out there is all legitimate, and I think that there's plenty of people who are telling the truth about the conflicts that are going on right now, or it's
Yeah.
being just as well covered as any news site or big news company could.
Just as a little closing remark, I just want to say I think it's really interesting how our generation is at the point where we've been through so many historical landmark events, and we are one of the first generations in I'll say in a little less than a century to go through this, because people growing up in 100 years ago were going through such economic changes.
Yeah.
And I would say we're going through cultural changes. We're going through societal changes. We're going through, we're actually uprooting the ideas of society.
Yeah.
And changing things. I don't know if it's for the better yet, but things are changing 100%.
Yeah.
And things are shifting. The narrative is shifting. The norm is shifting. The idea of, you have to get married, get a house, and get a job, that's changing. Which, that's been a staple for, well over a century, for
especially for Americans
for Americans, the idea of what the quote unquote American dream is changing rapidly, and I think that's something that is fascinating, and it's really cool to be a part of this generation in this tidal wave. And it's funny because I look somewhere, at like this school, and I see like how much needs to change, how much needs to improve, and I'm like, there's going to be generations of kids after us that go to this school, and and in my program, there's going to be classes of freshmen that come in when we have an actual studio, when we have an actual motion capture studio and sound stage and stuff like that. And, I'm not going to be around for that. But I was part of the class that got the ball rolling on that. Mm. And I think that's really something that I like thinking about. So, anyways, I think that's a good way to...
Good eye to the future.
Yeah, we've got, all right. So let's bump it up to a little lighter note real quick, just for like 5 little minutes. Quick discussion. So what have you guys been playing lately? And what have you guys been up to, like personally, project-wise, anything?
Red Dead 2.
Really?
Yeah, I finally got on and I love every bit of that game.
Dude,
it's everything I've wanted in a game and more. And to be quite, there's just something about it, man.
It's so dynamic and very well crafted. It feels like it's got passion in it.
It feels like I have like 30. Like there's been times where I've had 30 minutes to kill, and 30 minutes turned to 3 hours. And like, I don't know, it's really well crafted. I like the story, the characters I love. Every now and then it's buggy, but it makes it more fun.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm only 20% of the way in, so like you're probably gonna speed way past me.
But there's so much more I need to do though, and I haven't even discovered most of the map yet.
Yeah, it's
great. So
it's a really refreshing game in a time of games that don't have really well polished or really detailed.
Yeah. So Red Dead 2. I've been doing more Muay Thai stuff too. But I think overall this year I'm excited for Moon Knight is probably on my top. Moon Knight, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 are probably the 3 things I'm looking forward to this year, though. As well as the Batman. Batman's gonna be sick, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, I did.
That's all.
Moon Knight's gonna be a big deal. What about you, Carlos? What have you been up to? What have you been playing? What have you been?
I haven't been playing
working on
much of anything. I've been dabbling in obviously Halo and other games. I think right now I'm a little sad with Halo. I think they've kind of hit a standstill. They did an MMR reset, and I really feel like they've ruined.
I think the momentum is just gone.
Yeah, they've really ruined the rank system, which makes me sad because honestly, for Halo fans, this should have been like you said, Breath of the Wild. This should have been our Breath of the Wild, and they've kind of dug it into the ground. Which it's not game over. I feel like they can bring it back, but I just feel like they need to start offering more incentive for players to play ranked and try and get better. But other than that, I've been
technically the game's only been out for like 3 months though.
No, I know, but
that's crazy to fucking think about.
Yeah.
That's like
it's been a short it's been a short life, but that's also scary for them because that means a quick death if they're not careful.
Did January just feel like a fucking like long
January felt like
month?
a really long time. Yeah, it was a long month. February was pretty quick.
Yeah.
You can tell Infinite was not made for the majority of the Halo fan base and was instead made for esports, which, makes sense, but I think it kind of divided the fan base. But other than that, I've been playing more Tomb Raider and some Control. I'm going back. I'm replaying.
Gotcha.
So I'm in Rise right now. But, I just haven't really had time for gaming. I've been on
What have you been doing
every
to keep you so busy, huh?
Every single weekend up until the first weekend of April, I am on a set. And
Carlos lives a life I could only dream of. I genuinely do.
It's fun. I will say it's a lot of fun. It's tiring, it's exhausting, but I wouldn't really have it any other way.
You keep it light. You keep it light.
Yeah. What do you do mostly on what is your the last biggest thing you've been doing personally?
The past few sets that I've worked on, I've produced. So I've produced 2 of the films, which is nice because I get to be involved in pre-production, kind of making sure everything goes smoothly and making sure everyone's doing what they need to do. But for the next ones, I'm gonna kind of shift gears and I'm gonna be a cinematographer on 2 of them, as well as a boom operator. I have to do that for class. I have to boom op 2 days on a set.
Say boom.
And then I may jump on as a second assistant director for another one of the capstones if they need me. But it's been nice. We did this weekend was hard because we had a large scale production for a short. We transformed the Gardner Ballroom here on campus into a high school gymnasium for a high school reunion.
It looked good.
It did. I was really proud of everyone. And 2 nights, Saturday night, our set kind of fell apart. We had some of the streamers and the fringe curtains just kind of tore up because they were falling. And so yesterday morning, we got up at 7 in the morning, went to Walmart, bought more fringe curtains, learned that they weren't the right color and the right size. So we had to improvise. And we still had the scraps of the ones that fell and ripped. And they were basically strand. And so I was like, okay, me and the art director got strips of duct tape and strand by strand put back the original fringe curtains.
Oh my God.
And it worked. It looked great. It looked even better than the first day, and it stayed up all day, and I was really happy. So
attaboy.
This last weekend was one of the most, in my opinion, I think it was my favorite set that I've been on here at school. It was just very, very organized, very rewarding. And so hopefully it's only up from here.
There's your major and stuff that you guys had to I feel like the whole active learning, active whatever.
Yeah, you guys actually do stuff.
Yeah, I have to sit and write a paper.
I feel like I hope the school sees this and maybe gives us some more help, because that would be nice.
No, yeah, you anytime I see posts from your story, you're always working. Anytime you're on a set or something, it's so amazing. It's something I think is so amazing. And for the final 5 minutes, I know where I'll tie this off.
You got it.
It's something that I think is so amazing because it's something obviously it's hard to get into the film world, obviously in the production side, but I'm more realistically, I've had acting has been a thing that I've thought about a lot. I found out recently upon going back home that there was an opportunity I missed out on dearly. I was talking to my mom and we were just having passing normal conversation, and I was lamenting on a story about one time I was just chilling at the mall, doing my thing as a kid. As far as I knew, we were just going around and shopping for Christmas or something. Mm-hmm. And I was playing around with a brother of mine, we'd play fighting in the store, how kids are, until a man approached my mom and my dad and talked to them, handed them a card, said, hey, these kids, they got a lot of energy, they're really interested, blah, blah, blah. Talked to my parents, stuff I didn't understand, I'm 7, blah, blah, blah. I think, they're not selling me to the Cayman Islands or anything, so I'm not too worried. As far as I had always been told, it was a child modeling thing, right? And it was we missed out on that one. We talked to other people later in the future. I brought the story up to her, and she goes, and as if this doesn't matter to her at all, she goes, oh yeah, no, I think that was actually a guy for Disney Kids, actually, and I go, oh, really, just casual, and so this whole time there's been this missing moment in my life where there was a path, there was a path that opened. It was this kid has what we want. All he has to do is show up. All he has to do is show up to this audition, and they didn't do it. We didn't go. And it's like it's one of those things where it's like, and I don't take for granted where I am, where I'm at in my life. I love where I am. It's just when you know that was a thing that you had you didn't even get the chance to make a choice on. It's like that's so fucked up. But I think it's just something that's so funny and a great example of one of many stories that have existed in a weird book of opportunities and missed opportunities in my life.
Unfortunate.
But no, I still love that at the end of the day, I still get to work in an amazing studio here with you guys and do at least my low end production that I've been uploading consistently Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. By the way, it's it may be low end, but I still love it to death. So
it's great. It's great.
And I've been itching to get back into the studio. I'm so happy we're finally here again, and I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to all the stuff that's going to release for us to talk about.
I cannot wait to finally discuss more on this podcast in the upcoming weeks. But that is all for us today. So without further ado, if we're all ready to wrap it up, let's do our plugs and bring it up. So TJ, if you want to go ahead and go first.
TJ_54 on Instagram. If you're not there, you're square.
Gotcha. Oh, I have to update the tags then on our stuff so that it matches your new Instagram.
No, I think it's or
because the
actually no, it's TJ.
Oh, okay. So you got the handle.
Yeah. I fucking put my Discord on there. TJ_Jutasi on Instagram. I feel like I can't do the thing. It was never mind. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
Intentional lens flare with underscores in between every word. Go ahead and give that a follow.
Also, check out Carlos at Super Image Ltd and his other attached links in the description. Same with TJ. And if you like what you saw on the podcast, don't forget to leave a star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It really helps the podcast out and puts us into the feed and the algorithm a little more, and really goes a long way. And if you like what you saw on the video version of the podcast at YouTube, VictoryTGH on YouTube, where you can see the podcast in video as well as my content, which is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays every week, as well as the Victory Live channel, which brings out full VODs after streams, and the shorts where you'll see clips from this podcast and clips from other content of myself, usually Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays is when I stream at twitch.tv/VictoryTGH. So if you want to talk about the podcast or see more behind-the-scenes stuff, you can talk to me there. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching and waking up with us. We will see you next morning. Peace.
Later, nerds.